On the edge of downtown Tuskegee, we are live from Vibes Restaurant in Tuskegee, Alabama, getting set for another edition of the Aaron James Coaches Show. So glad you could join us from Vibes Restaurant. If you're in Tuskegee, looking for something good to eat, you want to talk to Coach Aaron James about the bye week and things ahead for Tuskegee as they get set to meet the Tigers of Savannah State, come right down to Vibes. This is where we are. For the folks that are here now, glad you could join us. And Coach James, thank you in particular for joining us on bye week.
Thanks for having me. Another week.
Yeah, this one without a W or a loss coming into our conversation this afternoon. Let's talk about the bye week for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Walk us through it.
Well, Bobby, it was good. We got some things cleaned up that we had to go back to the drawing boards and just focus on technique and fundamentals. So it's been good for us. This is my first bye week being in the SIAC coaching, so it's a plus. So the guys are energetic and they are ready to roll for Savannah State this upcoming weekend.
Well, we talked about it in our last show. The fortunate thing about that ball game against Grambling is that we kind of came out of that unscathed as it relates to injuries. That's a plus for the Golden Tigers.
Yes, it is. It always, the guys that's been banged up, nicked up, those guys are able to heal up and just get treatment and everything of that nature. So the guys are bought in, offense and defense and special teams. So those guys are ready to get complete this week and then just ready to play ball, our first home game.
We're going to talk to defensive coordinator Ken Watson in a bit and to Miles Robinson coaching staff, that those two that are here today. But we're going to focus with you on the offense in terms of not only the bye week, but where we are right now in terms of its development. We talked about that at the beginning of the season, that it's always or in most cases, the offense that's a little bit slower to develop than the defense. Your assessment about where this Golden Tiger offense is right now?
Well, offensively, you can see from the first week to the second week how we improved. So those guys are taking one day at a time, and they are cleaning up a lot of stuff on that side of the ball. So I'm excited for what I see through practice, through this bye week as well, to just slowing everything down. So the quarterback play, both of those guys are going to touch the ball. So the running backs are, running back by committee. So those guys are healed up as well. We only got one guy that's really probably not going to you're not going to see this weekend. It's Zena Mobile. So receiver room is excited. Those guys are hungry, to touch the ball and get ready to roll. So offensively, I see us moving in the right direction. We came out second half of Grambling game and just played lights out. So those guys are eager and they're ready to, put up some points this weekend.
Well, you talk about it being in the right direction. Right now, the offense averaging 306 yards per game, and a number really going north primarily through that passing game. And even the run game, the numbers are going up north as well, so things clicking in the right direction. And you talked about that two-headed monster as it relates to the quarterback situation. Mm-hmm. Seemingly at this point, the numbers suggest that it's working out that way with both of them in there.
Yes, it is. Both of those guys' skill sets are different. Raekwon Beal, he's more of a gunslinger. He's sit in the pocket and deliver the ball. C-Rob, he's more of a dual threat guy. But Raekwon Beal can get you 5 yards in a cloud of dust when he need to. But his skill set, like I said, both of those guys' skill sets are different, and they're helping us move the offense along. So those guys you're going to see both of them play Saturday. So I'm just ready for this week to go ahead and end so we can go ahead and get that shed rocking.
I know the shed will be rocking on Saturday. Yes. But we're talking about the quarterbacks a little bit more. We reflect on that Grambling game and saw some good things out of Roberson in the contest, particularly with his legs in terms of a couple of big first down runs. And then right at the end when Bill got inserted into the lineup, actually led the team for a touchdown throwing the football. So exactly to your point that they bring in a different skill set, each of them, mm-hmm. but both effective for that offense.
Yeah, they are. We just got to eliminate the turnovers. We eliminate the turnovers. We've been preaching that all week. The team with the least turnovers are most likely going to win the ball game. So just putting it in their head, their mindset is going to be different and not try to force anything. Just play within the system. So Coach Harry Williams, offensive coordinator, been preaching that all week, and actually the offensive staff as well, and myself included. So those guys are going to be well prepped and ready to make some things happen Saturday.
Talking about the offense, continuing to discuss them as we look at Savannah State's defense. What have you seen as it relates to schematics or from film from them that suggests that the offense for Tuskegee can be successful against them?
Just looking at the past two games when they played Southern and this past weekend against Central State, those guys fly around defensively. They got some good talent over there on that side of the ball, and they got some good guys up front and in the secondary. So we just got to do our part on the offense side of the ball and just, like I say, eliminate the turnovers, minimize the mistakes, and just play Tuskegee Golden Tiger football. So those guys are going to be, like I say, well prepared this week and just going in with a mindset of putting up some points.
The ball game on Saturday. It's the first conference contest for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee on the season. Still looking for the first win of the campaign. How important is it going to be for Tuskegee, whether they get the ball offensively to start the game or defensively? How important is it going to be for this team to put its mark or stamp on this ball game right away?
Well, like you said, this game is important. It's no East and West. Now it's all out, win. So this game is important. We got to come in and thinking our end goal. Our end goal is winning the championship. So that's our main goal, winning the championship, and it starts Saturday. So the season, from the beginning of the game, we played two conference games, non-conference games with John C. Smith and Grambling. So with this game coming up this weekend versus Savannah State, it's lights out. We got to come out and play ball, and those guys know that. And out in
15 yards on that one.
In the game and out the game on the sideline as well. Again, so they know it's very important for us to come in and get this W in front of our home crowd and just get this thing on the road.
You played at Tuskegee, and you know what it's like to start a campaign, to get that crowd on the side of the Golden Tigers on Saturday will make all the difference in the world in the home venue.
Yes, it is. Like I stated last week, we're going to start off with offense. We win the coin toss. Offense is going to have the ball first. So we're trying to strike up the band. So we're going to come in full throttle, and I'm not going to let let my foot off the brake. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to come in with a mindset of winning this, dominating this ball game, and it's going to start with the coaches, and it's going to have to trickle down with the players. So we put in a good game plan for this week, and we're going to execute.
What's your assessment against that defense again? Is it more of an opportunity for us to throw the ball downfield or a combination of both, running and throwing?
It's a combination of both. We just got to take what they give us. They're going to give us the run game. We're going to take the run game. They're going to give us the pass. We're going to take the pass. So it's just slowing everything down for the quarterbacks and just making sure that, like I said, we play within the system. Don't play outside the system. Because that's when things start to happen, turnovers and mistakes. So with them knowing that coming in this week, I'm very excited for those guys and on the defense side as well and special teams. So we're going to be ready to roll.
Coach Aaron James talking about that offense as Tuskegee gets set to meet the Tigers of Savannah State at Cleve Abbott Memorial Alumni Stadium on Saturday here in Tuskegee. But right now we're live at Vibes Restaurant in the Aaron James Coaches Show. We'll step out for a time out here. When we come back, we will have defensive coordinator Ken Watson sharing some of his thoughts about that Golden Tigers defense. That's just ahead here on the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
Rivals, us versus them, survival. We must win, it's tribal. My team like Ken, by any means necessary. One head-to-head with adversaries. Nothing is given, so we gotta take it. It's party. Do you wanna dance?
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fact.
And welcome back, everybody. We're live inside of Vibes Restaurant, just outside of downtown Tuskegee. Beautiful restaurant here, aroma filling the place, good food. And we are live in the Aaron James Coaches Show. And joining us now at the table is the defensive coordinator for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee University, Ken Watson. Coach Watson, thanks for joining us first time through as coordinator.
Good to have.
Let's talk a little bit about that Tuskegee defense. It has always been the stalwart or the go-to element for Tuskegee over the years, except for the years when Aaron James was a quarterback. He'll tell you everything went through him then. Right. But the defense has always been front and center for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Your assessment about where we are as it relates to the first two ball games, then we'll get in a little bit about what we're looking for this weekend against Savannah State.
Well, I like what we're doing right now defensively. I think that we got off to a pretty good start. Although the score didn't reflect and the yardage sometimes they got didn't reflect. I think we take away a couple of big plays and we're right in there as a defensive unit where we want to be. I think that coming forward or moving forward, we take away a big play or two. All right, we right there where we want to be. I'm an aggressive defensive coordinator. I like to be aggressive. I play aggressive, and that's what I expect out of the defense. Yeah.
Going into the preseason, was that kind of the emphasis point for you? Is that we are as a team defensively going to be very aggressive around the ball, or what was your assessment going on early on before you kind of got that unit out there that you had as starters and what you were looking for in the preseason?
Well, that's what I recruited. I recruited big, fast guys. That's what I like. I like to play aggressive, fast. We, pretty basic, which allows us to play fast also. But yes, that's me. I'm an aggressive defensive guy. I love to be aggressive. I was an aggressive defensive back, and I like put pressure on, and sometimes just play fast.
Well, we saw it in at least the Grambling ball game where that aggression played itself out in a couple of critical stops of them, and especially in the second half of the ball game where we seemed to really kind of get our feet under us in that second half, and the defense was a main key for allowing the offense to come alive just by virtue of stopping Grambling in that second half.
Right. I'm very happy on how we came out that second half. We didn't allow a score or even a field goal. So I'm very proud of the guys. And
Crawley back to pass.
Pick up right there when we left off there, right there. And move on into the next game.
Double deck.
How much did that carry over into this week of practice where you didn't have a ball game and it was just the momentum of coming out of Grambling into this idle week?
Well, those were my points of emphasis. Is getting good rest this week, and we're gonna pick up right where we left off at with aggression. We had a great week of practice of what we do, and that's being aggressive, playing fast. We on the weights. We got the energy build up, and we just ready to get started with Savannah State.
I don't want to overlook this. I think we mentioned it in our last broadcast, but if we did not, I certainly want to do it now. Coming out of that Grambling ball game, Rossi Grimes named the SIAC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance against the Tigers of Grambling. Just to give him some justice, your thoughts about him. We talked to Coach James about him in terms of his performance and what he means to that defense. But we're not isolating him just as one individual player, but because he was recognized by the conference. Give us your thoughts about him as a player.
Rossi came in as a big tackler. He's big, he's fast, he can cover. So I'm very proud of Rossi. He's picked the defense up a lot better. He was a freshman last year, and he started for us. So that was huge, and he really came into camp this year and picked up right where he left off at, and that's being aggressive and making tackles. So I'm looking forward to seeing Rossi play the rest of the year.
Okay, and we talk about that defense overall. Looking at Savannah State in terms of their offense, your assessment about how you have got to play them defensively, or at least I know it dictates premised on what plays they run or if they change their scheme. But coming into it, based upon what you've seen on film, what do you think the optimum way for Tuskegee defensively to play Savannah will be?
Well, I think it's always imperative to stop the run first, and they got a big quarterback that likes to run the ball. I think we got to contain him and on the run, especially with the option, and shut down the big plays in the passing game. I'm looking forward to us doing what we do, and that's being aggressive on the run and playing fast.
They have a total of 8 players on that team that are all SIAC first team and second team. A lot of those, as you referenced, on the offensive side of the ball for them, and a couple of those at wide out, and you referenced the quarterback. Is it the issue of pressure up front that will shut them down in terms of their impact on the ball game? They have not produced a lot of points in this first half of the season. And because they've been shut down, I know Tuskegee wants to carry that over into Saturday.
Well, they got a lot of pressure put on them by Southern. And, yes, I think bringing in a little pressure or a good bit of pressure on the quarterback to slow down the pass. And we play good run defense anyway. Okay, so we'll continue that through on the season. So I'm looking forward to stopping the run and being aggressive on the pass.
One of the things to note at this point, it was only game 3, but I have not come up with that first interception of the season yet. Likely an opportunity here against the Tigers of Savannah State.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Because once we get that first one,
Sure.
we seem to get on a roll. And we did that last year and pulled off 16. So yeah, I'm looking forward to get that first one this week and getting on the road the rest of the year.
I'll put it to you the same way I put it to Coach Aaron James. And as we talk about this ball game against Savannah State, the initial throws of it, if the defense is put out there first, what are you going to be looking for early on to let you know, hey, the guys are in rhythm this Saturday afternoon?
Man, I'm looking forward to our guys just really playing fast. That's what we like to do. We like to play fast and aggressive, and that's what I'm looking forward to us doing. I don't want to give away a lot of what we will be doing, but that's what we coming into the game with, and that's being aggressive and playing fast defense. Yeah.
Is it your preference that the defense starts the game first or the offense?
Well, I like starting the defense off first, but it's Coach James' call, so I'll leave it at that.
Well, we hope the defense leaves it all out on the field on Saturday and Tuskegee comes away with a win.
We definitely will.
Defensive coordinator Ken Watson, thanks for joining us here.
All right, thank you.
Take a break here on the Aaron James Coaches Show. Coming up, Miles Robinson, the recruiting coordinator and special teams coach for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. We're live here from Bob's Restaurant here in Tuskegee, Alabama. Still got some time to come down. Got any questions for Coach James or any of the other coaches that are appearing here? Coach Watson with us right now. You can ask him a question or two as well. All you got to do is come down to Vibes. Have a good time. Ask him questions. More coverage of the Aaron James Show just ahead here on the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make to level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Versus them, survival. We must win, it's tribal. My team like Ken, by any means necessary. One head to head with adversaries. Nothing is given, so we gotta take it. It's
Back live inside Vibes Restaurant, the Aaron James Show continuing here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. So glad you could join us as we continue to get updates from the coaching staff as they get set for ball game on Saturday against the Tigers of Savannah State. That's live on the Tuskegee campus as we get set to go into Saturday's ball game. One of the faces you'll see on the sideline is Miles Robinson Jr. He is a recruiting coordinator for the Golden Tigers football team. Miles, thanks for joining us on the Coach James Show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I gave you an extra title there.
Yeah,
when I
special teams.
introduced you.
That's my first time hearing about that. Special teams coordinator. No problem.
Thanks for joining us here as recruiting coordinator for Golden Tigers football. Obvious question for a neophyte like me is, okay, what does the recruiting coordinator do? I know obviously it's got something to do with recruiting, but just walk us through that function.
So as a recruiting coordinator, amongst Coach James' direction, I'm responsible for the overall coordination of recruiting for the Tuskegee University football team. So that means allocating recruiting areas for each coach. Each coach has a recruiting area that they're responsible for. Once we go out and recruit those players, as well as the junior college, and of course now we have the transfer portal.
Sure.
So we have coaches in each area that collectively we have this common goal that we want the best athletes from obviously each area. We want to make sure we put a web out, especially around this southeast region. So that stretches from Louisiana all the way down to South Florida, on up into the South Carolinas, but especially right here in this Alabama, central Alabama area. Over in Georgia, Atlanta area, we try to make sure that we lock that area down.
A couple questions for you there, and not necessarily related, but definitely wanted to get your thoughts about this, given that you're the recruiting coordinator. One, you mentioned it a few minutes ago about this transfer portal and to some degree what impact it's got on college football. Mm-hmm. What's your assessment about the portal, and what impact, if any, have you seen on Tuskegee as it relates to recruiting this year?
We've definitely pulled some guys out of the transfer portal. One guy in particular, in my group, I'm also the wide receivers coach, Quavon Beckford. Got him out of New Mexico.
See, I knew there was something else you did, right?
Yeah. So Quavon is an excellent receiver. He came in polished. He's one of the guys that, a lot of guys you have to, of course, you want to have to coach them and mold them into the athlete that you need them to be. Quavon comes in pretty polished. Kind of just have to tell him what to do, how to do it, and he gets it done. So that's the kind of advantage when you go to the transfer portal. You want guys to come in that can help you right away. And that's kind of probably a negative thing for some of these top high school kids, where some of these high school kids, a couple years ago, they're D1 prospects, mid-major, D1 AA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're slipping down because guess what? Those Division Ones are going to the same formula. You want guys to come in that's ready to play and elevate right now, because you're paying these coaches all this money to win, where you have to win right now. So that's kind of the effect that I see on it.
Okay.
Right now.
And the other second, not even a second part, it's just a related question as you were making your comments early on that made me start to think about the role that you play and then what the relationship has to be with you and the other coaches as it relates to, one, you're talking about assigning the areas for them, but what's that relationship got to be like for you all to be as effective as you possibly can as it relates to recruiting?
Well, you really can't be a micromanager, because not like at these big-time colleges where you can be just a position coach, or you have a personnel director, then you have a recruiting coordinator, then you have about 8 people in that, or 10 people in that recruiting department. Here, everybody's kind of pulling double weight, have to do different duties. So you have to be aware of that, but also you have to make sure that you work as a team. Everybody has we all have a common goal. Just the other day, we went through our numbers of what we're looking for to bring in this coming right here recruiting cycle. So you just have to have that trust in each other, that everybody's getting their job done, to make sure we're evaluating the right players and getting the right players in here to build that championship mode that we have to have at Tuskegee.
We talked a bit about your role as recruiting coordinator, but there's another facet of you being a part of this coaching staff at Tuskegee, and it's your personal relationship with Tuskegee. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm born and raised Tuskegee, Alabama. I literally grew up on the sidelines in my first years watching right here Coach Aaron James watching number 3, throw that thing up. I call him Flame James. He was the first Willie Beeman I saw, from any given Sunday. But just thinking about it, and I was, Tuskegee has done a lot for me in terms of just growing and molding in who I am. You know, I literally, like I said, grew up on those sidelines. I was a ball boy, probably starting back in '97, right there with Rick Comedy. You know, a lot of the guys again, Aaron, Harry, who's our offensive coordinator. So I really grew up watching them. You know, those are the guys that really made me love football for what it is. A lot of guys were going to the Auburn and Alabama games or watching that on TV. Now I was going to Tuskegee game no matter what we played, was Kentucky State. You know, my dad, you know, they travel with the game. Coach, you know, Bobby Davis and Ernest Harrison. So he rides. That's his crew. You know, so they're not missing the game. You know, so I was at those games when I had a game at the YMCA right up here at Mount Meigs. I was right here at Tuskegee by 11 o'clock for the tailgate. You know, so you know, I grew up, you know, here in this city, in this school, this football program made me love football for what it is today, and you know, I have everything to, you know, to give back to them, you know, to get it back to where we all wanted to be, those championship days that I grew up in.
You talked a little bit about it, but what's that feeling like for knowing those memories that you have growing up here, and now you're a part of the coaching staff at Tuskegee University?
Yeah, it's you know, it's hard to put into words. You never know, like growing up then, that you would be on the sidelines in a professional capacity. You know, back then it was just, you know, I wanted to be around the guys. I'm happy I'm on the sideline. I get to go up to the tailgate, give me something to eat at halftime to get back down by the time, you know, the third quarter kicks off. But you really don't think about it then, but just reflecting back on it, you know, it's almost like I was born to coach, to be on the sidelines, because, you know, I've really honed in and soaked up all those things from all those years and all the other places I've been along the way. I was playing at Tuskegee, working at Miles College, working at UCLA. I was with the Atlanta Legends, with American Alliance of American Football.
Sure.
You know, worked with, so it just kind of lined up and started me off on a path that I really never saw coming until I really got into it and got a chance to look back at it.
The position coaches aside and coordinators aside, you have the unique position of kind of touching almost every facet of the program as it relates to offense, defense, special teams, because all of that comes as a result of recruiting. How does that make you feel to know that you have that level of responsibility, that everything we see out on this field is something that you've had your hand in to some degree?
Yeah, it definitely kind of is very humbling, but like you said, heavy is the hat that lays the crown. So that's why it's a thing done by committee. You know, even though I probably, you know, send out the NILs, the NLIs, the scholarships, the grenades to different players. These coaches all do their part in evaluating these guys and make sure that we get the right guys in here. So, you know, even though I have to do some of those things and touch everybody and talk to a lot of parents and a lot of kids a lot of time, it's a thing done collectively, and definitely couldn't do it without these coaches. Yeah.
Coach Miles Robinson Jr., so glad to have you as a part of the Tuskegee University Golden Tigers coaching staff, native of Tuskegee. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take a break here on the Golden Tigers Network. Aaron James Coaches Show. We'll come back. We'll get some final thoughts from Coach James and get you further set for the ball game on Saturday, the season opener against the Tigers of Savannah State. That's live in Cleve Abbott Memorial Stadium. If you're interested in going, call on and go to the athletics department, get your tickets for that season opener. We want it to be jam-packed at the stadium. Take a break. Back with more after this on the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
Rivals, us versus them, survival. We must win, it's tribal. My team like Ken, by any means necessary. One head-to-head with adversaries. Nothing is given, so we gotta take it. It's
Final segment of the Aaron James Coaches Show. He joins us again from Vibes Restaurant here in Tuskegee. Had a chance to talk to defensive coordinator Ken Watson. Also talked to Coach Miles Robinson, the recruiting coordinator and receiving coach for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. I got the titles right for him this time, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You did.
Thanks to those guys for joining us in the show this evening. Coach, we close it out by, again, talking about the ball game coming up against the Tigers of Savannah State. Mm-hmm. It's the home opener for the Golden Tigers, looking for that first win of the campaign. Your thoughts as we go a couple of more days before kickoff and we get closer to Saturday?
Yeah, we're just going to finish out the week with a good practice. Just looking forward to supporting from the fans and everything, the alumni, to come out and just let us feel your energy. You know, let us feel your energy in the stands and just be behind us for this first victory. It's because we're looking forward to having that. And like I said, this game is very important for us to get on track with the upcoming season. So just looking forward for the fans and everybody to come out and have a shed rocket.
Players ready?
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
No, the coaches are ready.
The coaches are ready, players are ready, trainers are ready, managers are ready, everybody's ready. So we got to get this done.
Broadcast team is ready as well, and we'll be there for the coverage on the Golden Tigers Sports Network on Saturday when the Golden Tigers get set to host the Tigers of Savannah State. SIAC action on the campus of Tuskegee. Coach, thanks for joining us on your show, or thanks for having us on your show.
Both. It don't matter. Everybody's good to go for this show. So just thanks for having me.
We'll be back here on Monday night after the Golden Tigers notch their first win of the season against the Tigers of Savannah State. We'll be there for coverage on GTSN. Till then, Charles Ward, on behalf of head coach Aaron James and the other coaches that joined us here, thank you so much for joining us on the Golden Tigers Sports Network, and thanks to the audience here at Vibes Restaurant for joining us as we present the Aaron James Show. Back with more on Monday from the same spot here in Tuskegee. Until then, join us on Saturday as the Golden Tigers meet the Tigers of Savannah State. Have a good evening, everybody.